Happy New Year. Welcome to Employment Law This Week. I'm George Whipple with a bit of a cold, but we're starting off 2016 with a look at the new laws and regulations going into effect this year. For employers, the biggest immediate changes are on the state and local level. And we'll begin with California, the state with the most significant new legislation. Starting this year, California employers will have 33 days to correct wage statement violations before employees can sue under the state's Private Attorneys General Act. AB 304 amends California's paid sick leave law to authorize employers to use their own method of calculating accrued sick leave, as long as the leave accrues regularly and 24 hours of leave accumulates by the 120th day of employment. Foster parents, step-parents, and anyone acting in loco parentis are now included as parents who can take unpaid time off from work to address needs related to a child's school or child care provider. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, a new amendment to the California Fair Pay Act toughens the state's existing equal pay law. The old law prohibited gender-based pay differentials for employees doing equal work in the same establishment. The law now requires equal pay for male and female employees who do similar work under similar working conditions. This means that the law may no longer take into account varying costs of living in different areas of the state. William Stein has more.
The new regulations in California show the continuing trend of the legislature to provide protections to employees and to make it easier for employees to bring lawsuits against their employers. For example, under the California Fair Pay Act, we anticipate that there are going to be a spike in litigation on these claims because employers probably are not making sure that people who are in similar jobs under the law are being paid similarly throughout all their locations in California. So we expect an increase in litigation on those claims.
Nationwide, the activism around minimum wages has had a big impact on new legislation coming into effect this year. 16 states and the District of Columbia will raise their minimum wages for 2016. California and Massachusetts will have the highest state minimum wages at $10 an hour. Some city governments have gone even higher. San Francisco employers and large Seattle employers who do not provide medical benefits will have to pay a minimum of $13 an hour. In New York this month, the state will implement the Women's Equality Act, which, among other provisions, requires that employers provide accommodations to all pregnant employees, not just those with pregnancy-related disabilities. And in late December, New York City issued an interpretation of the city's human rights law, explaining that employers must use an individual's preferred pronouns and titles, provide single-sex facilities consistent with an employee's gender identity, and cannot have any dress code requirements that differ based on gender. And on a federal level, the EEOC released new guidance documents over the holidays on workplace discrimination against Muslims or Middle Eastern individuals. The agency released separate documents for employees and employers to address harassment, intimidation, and discrimination. Among other things, the guidance explains that comments about terrorism or ISIS can be ethnic or religious slurs that can lead to a hostile work environment. There is plenty more potential regulation coming on the federal level this year, from the Department of Labor's Persuader regulations to increased OSHA fines. We'll keep you up to date right here on Employment Law This Week. Welcome back, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.